hello, my friends. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Now, if you're new, I want to give a big welcome. I'm Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And I'm telling you, we always have room for new friends, and we're always excited to meet you. So, come on in and join us. And let me just tell you what's going on with me. Well, first of all, I look back. I was just remembering. I just started looking back. I was checking something, looking back through some of the videos for some information I needed. And man, I realized how much we have gotten done this year. I hope that you stayed with it. I hope that you really gave some of my designs a try. If you did, I thank you. I hope they worked out beautiful for you. A lot of you sent me pictures, and I hope that not only the things you made for yourself, but for the people you made them for, I hope they enjoyed them as well. So I want to thank you first of all. That's like the biggest shout out I can give you, is to say thank you for just coming back over and over. Every time I come up with an idea, or something I want to share, you seem to be enthused and enjoy it. And and that just keeps encouraging me. So a big shout out to you, to all my friends here, and I thank you so much. And then I wanted to say this too. I wanted to get this in before the end of the year. Do you know it's November already? And it's just moving so fast. I'm telling you, I look down and I've seen, okay, I got one thing done, and it's already, next time I look, it's 2 weeks later. I'm thinking, my gosh, I'm running out of time. So I want to get a couple of these things done before the end of the year so that I won't forget to give credit where credit is due and to thank the people. First of all, back in January, when I started the year off, you remember I said I like to knit. I have to knit kind of with a purpose or an inspiration or with a theme or an idea. And that's why I have all the little ideas, different little, when I knit something. And I came across this calendar around Christmas time at Joann's. And so I picked it up. It said Favorite Things Calendar 2016. And it's by Wendy Bentley. The calendar is by Wendy Bentley. So I bought the calendar. I had a coupon. Because when I do my intro and when I put up the projects that I'm going to share, there's a backdrop of a calendar. So I don't have to go into what year, what date, and all that. And then I don't have to remember that because there's always a calendar there. And it just works out better for me. And when I got home and started looking at it, I thought, maybe I should call and see if this is okay to put that up, to use it as simply a backdrop. Well, I called her, and the rest is history, as they say. She was just wonderful, a new friend to Jay's Knit and Purl Jam, and gave me full permission. And I'm telling you, every month, as I turned the calendar over and saw the beautiful picture, and then I just had to come up with something either to match the theme or the color or the sweet words that she would have on the calendar. And I hope that she has liked what I have produced, because I have enjoyed using her calendar. And I don't know if she has any new, with the new calendars or what she's doing. And I don't know if I'm even going in that direction. I hadn't got my ideas yet. I'm trying to make it to the end of the year, people. But I wanted to give a shout out and give credit where credit is due. My first shout out, as I draw near to the end of this year, is to Wendy Bentley. Thank you for your Favorite Things calendar, for letting me use it in my YouTube tutorials. I hope I did you proud. I just think it's wonderful. And like I say, have to take a look at what you have coming up. And see if I can, I don't know, like I said, which direction I'm going in. I haven't really seen anything yet where I really hadn't had time to look. But I just wanted to give a nice public thank you for all your inspiration. Now, the next thing I want to do is, I meant to do this in the video before this one, but it got to be a little long, and I had to kind of start cutting things out, and I forgot to send this little shout out. You know, when I first came on, I would give little shout outs at Joann's because that was my favorite craft store, you know, to go to. And I'd meet people, and that's when I came up with, I'll just give shout outs to people. And like I said, I wanted to give you this shout out to Catherine Hattinger. On her Etsy store is Wishing Stitches. So I'll link all that below. So I'm getting good at linking now. So I want to practice. Okay. Now, the next thing has to do with the project I'm working on. Yay! Okay, the name of this tutorial I wanted to do because a few people have asked me, Jay, can you come up with something? Ooh, got some flying fiber here. You know, they'd like to have something else, maybe for a guy or something, you know. And I don't do many guy things because, like I said before, my guys don't wear handmade knits or crochet. It is just not what they do. So I don't waste my time. And then plus I don't know how to fit a guy, you know. But this is simple enough. I think, you know, it will be something that might appeal to some, hopefully some guys. So I wanted to do something, and I looked around for some inspiration. And lo and behold, something that I remembered seeing a long time ago. When I first started watching YouTube, not coming on, but watching, sitting in my house knitting and crocheting or whatever, and pulling up some YouTube sites just to watch while I was just here in the house. And I started watching YouTube scrapbookers. I guess it was something over there on the sidebar, and I went down the rabbit hole. You know how if you go to one, then they all pop up. So I just sat back and started watching while I was knitting away or whatever. And I ran across this lady, like I said, this is many years ago, and she was going to do a card for him, and it was, she said, I'm going to be using steampunk. I said, oh, steampunk, what is that? You know, I'm not into, I notice a lot of knitters are into, you know, a lot of the, you know, the alternative like stuff like Harry Potter and Star Wars and Dragon Con and all these other things. Well, the only thing I'm into is, look, Motown. I'm just a straight up Motown kind of person. So the name, Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. Not peanut butter and jelly jam. No, jam. You know, that's why I love the music so. And so I thought, oh, okay, so I'm going to look this up. So I watched her make her little book or card or whatever it was. Boy, they have a lot of stuff. Look, we're always judging other people. Look at all my stuff. But, man, they have a lot of scrapbookers, have a lot of stuff. But she made her little card and book, and she had all these little gears and looked like old broken clocks and keys. And I thought, well, what is that? And she said it was steampunk. Well, naturally, I had to check it out more. I didn't check it out right then, but as I, you know, heard more about it, I started looking because I wanted to see what it was. Like I said, it was kind of like when you have these alternative like worlds. And I'm going to link it below because I'm not going to go through the whole world and where that'll just take too long. I'll just link some links that I found that were interesting and explained it. And of course you can go on Pinterest and see all kind of steampunk pictures. And but I think it kind of originated in the UK, and it's the kind of thing that people who like the idea of living before electronics. They are more of the 1800s when things were all mechanical, all metal. Everything they even dress in metal like attire. And I'm thinking, okay. But see, You can't always judge a book by its cover, okay? So I went on and started looking as I got closer to doing this project. My curiosity, I said, well, I better check this out before I get off into something. Like say, I'm off into Motown. So I checked it out, and lo and behold, that's a whole big world. It's not like a little here and a little there, maybe a little hidden. No, it's huge. Just like Dragon Con and the Star Wars people that love that kind of stuff, and the Harry Potter people. It's just really big. And there's some groups, of course, they always have music, and I wanted to check out the music and see what it sounded like, if it was okay. But it's very nice music. It's very clean. And one of the groups that I really checked out, and I've listened to several of their songs, is called, let's see, can I remember? Steam Powered Giraffe. Steam Powered Giraffe. Yeah, that's what I said. So, I'm going to link it. Look, and you can click over there after we talk and listen to it. Like I said, it's very clean music, and it's not country, but it's just really nice, mellow music, not a heavy beat, but just, I don't know, you just have to listen. And but it was really nice, and I would love to have used some of the music here on my video, but it's so involved that, once it's just so involved trying to get all the copyright and get the okay. I just went with whatever I could. And then I just thought, well, what I'll do is just link the songs that I have listened to and liked from Steam Powered Giraffe on YouTube. And the Steampunk band. And you can just kind of take a listen yourself. Like I said, I'm not getting off into that, people. I'm just using it. I used it for this particular project. But I said all of that so that I could show you how I'm going to use it in this project coming up. It is Jay's Knit Steampunk Cable. I'm going to call it a heart warmer vest for him. And the reason I call it that is because it's not a full vest front and back. It's just a front. It comes around, and then we're going to knit the two front parts that look pretty much like a sweater vest, but it warms the heart. It just comes around. He can wear it under his coat, under his jacket. If he's older, I'm going to do a neck warmer, a really nice neck warmer for someone that's younger, so that you can do the stitch also. And I can't wait to show you the stitch I found, because like I say, I was using the theme steampunk, so naturally I wanted to try to find something that would look like steampunk, and I hope you like it. So that's what I'm here to share with you, and to give something for him in the month of November, just to let our guys know that how much we think about him, how much we appreciate him, and I just want to just try to give everyone, just let them know that I enjoy making all type of things. Some, I do better at, and some I still want to give it a try. So I hope you like this. And I can't think of anything. I think I hit the main three things that I wanted to hit on as we move towards the end of the year. And so I guess we just need to get started. And let me show you what I found so that we can do steampunk cables for him. So, reach into your stash. I reached in, and right away, some of the first things I pulled out was Vanna, because it's one of my favorite winter yarns, or yarns that I like to use for my sweaters or whatever. I know it's big box store yarn. You can use anything you want. As long as I'm sharing, I think it's, it's not, it wouldn't be fair for me to use expensive yarn and everybody can't get that yarn or find that yarn or can afford that yarn. That's not what I'm here about. I'm here to just show you what I'm doing in my own life, knitting and crocheting for myself or my friends or family or whatever, and I'm just sharing it on the YouTube. And if you'd like to do it, I'm just going to show you how I did it step by step. Not a professional, not an expert, not a big name knitter. Just someone having fun and getting things done. And busting my stash. So, right off the bat, here are some banners right here. Woo, I love banners. Little yarn. They're simple, and the nice thing about it, I don't care. You can always go back and match it up if you run short. It doesn't matter. I can go back a year from there and match any of these up, and I like that. It's a great yarn to knit with. Like I say, it's not high-end or anything, but that's not what I'm about. All right, here's Vanna. Here's a beautiful, let's see what's the name, silver gray. We're just going to go through real quick. Most of you know, in the States at least, you know what Vanna yarn is and looks like, and you've used it. Okay, Vanna yarn. All right, it calls for a 9, but we're going to change. We're going to use a different needle size. I'm just letting you know that. Here is oatmeal. This is that like nice cream color with a lot of black and brown and gray looking flecks, all mixed in, really tweedy looking. I like this color. I like and it comes in 3 different shades. There's a gray kind of flecks, and then there's a brown, I think, or something. Anyway, I have them all. And then one that and all these I have done samples in. And of course, this one is Vanna, and this is called Rust. I just had so much of this left, I just thought I'm gonna pick that out too. So right off the bat, reach into your stash. You don't even have to, as long as you have at least for the neck warmer, all you need is one skein, one nice full skein. That's it. It's that quick. But the heart warmer vest, you're gonna need at least, I'd say 3. I would go ahead and just have 3 on hand. You know, a guy's large, you may have to have even 4 depending on how large your guy is. But I'll show you that when I show you the sample. But right off the bat, there are 3 that I just pulled out of my stash. I had enough. I'm ready to go. Yes. Okay, next group. I reached in one of my bags, and way back in the back, down at the bottom of the bag, look what I found. Bingo! Does anybody remember this yarn? It may be still popular. It is Lion's brand, and it is called Tweed Stripes. Lion brand Tweed Stripes, and it's very, look how the colors are running through. I don't know. It's more like a stripe, like it said, not so much variegated, but it works into stripes. And I had this. Let's see, how many skeins did I have of this? I had about 4. And then I also have it in another, I think I have it in blue and in an orange tint. Or orange tones. So, look, it was way at the bottom of a bag, way in the back. I forget even what I have. And I'm sure you're the same way. So, look for some of these yarns you have forgotten about. We're going to use them up. This is Lion's brand Tweed Stripes. Okay. I bought this back when I told y'all when it first came in. It's 137 yards. And I bought this different colors because I was going to use it. So now I get a chance to work with it. And this is what I'm going to demonstrate in real time. One for me. Even though I'm doing it for him, I'm going to do one for me too. So, all right, real quick. That's that. Now, let's go over other things we need. We are going to use, even if the band says 9, I'm using a number 10. I just wanted something, a loose fabric, not a tight, stiff fabric, like I said, because this yarn is not like, high-end yarn. And it's not going to be all, and it can become kind of stiff-like. So I just took it up a needle size. So I'm using a US number 10 for the cowl and the heart warmer vest. I just thought it would make a nice relaxed fabric, but yet the cables would pop out, and they really do look nice in the 10. And the cables pull in, and I didn't want to go too small and have it pull in. So, and of course, cables eat up a lot of your yarn. You know that when you're doing cabling, it just takes more yarn. It just eats up a little more yarn because you're switching stitches around all the time. But anyway, so I already had some Susan Bates number 10s. You can use any needles you want. I'm not a needle snob. I don't care nothing about that. The gift is not in the needles. The gift is in your hand and in you and me. So I'm just sharing. These are just, I catch them on sale all the time, and I like these because they have a little drag on them. They're not like the Addies. Addies, I just wears my hands out. They're just so fast and so slip. And, you know, back in the day, we didn't have nice needles like that, you know. And, but these have a little drag on them, and I knit just fine with them. Use any size, but I'm using a 10, a US number 10, and this is 29 inches. We are not going to knit in the round. We're going to knit back and forth, but I normally use circular needles. But if you like straight, that's just you. But steampunk is more of the, like I was trying to tell you, it's more of old hammered, old dark metal that they make things. Like saying, if you go and look on Pinterest, you can see all kind of pictures of steampunk. Some of it's kind of scary looking. but I went ahead and got some buttons, and because you're going to need at least, I'd get have at least 4 buttons on hand of whatever. So now just off the bat, look at these. See that hammered iron? I'll see if I can bring it close. I had the coupon, so of course I got these at Joann's. I'll show them in the light like that. They look like, these are metal. These ones are real metal, and they really look like steampunk and hammered metal. So these are going to go on one of the projects. Now these, I got a bunch of these because these are, everybody's seen these, you know, a lot of guy things have. These are those little leather-like little buttons. They're nice to keep. They have some light browns, but I got the dark browns because remember, steampunk really likes, they like the dark. Then I was back over there, and I'm thinking, who told them I was doing steampunk? Look at this. Steampunk buttons I got at Joann's. They had just got these in because I was just there, and 2 days later, I found these. And I was in the button department over 30 minutes, looking at every button, trying to find something. Now this is, it says steampunk, and it looks like a compass or something. Of course, this is just plastic, but it's dark gray, and it's going to work on one of the sweaters, one of the things I'd pick out. And then I happened to find these as I was looking. This one is kind of a dark bronzy color, gold or whatever, and it's shaped in a heart with all the little gears. You know, steampunk is about gears and all that kind of stuff, nuts and bolts and all that. So it's already in the mold, and these are just little buttons, heart buttons that I can use. And then at the last minute, I just saw these little kind of silver but kind of hammered looking. Of course, they're plastic. But I thought, oh, this will look good on my pink one for me. It's kind of steampunkish. So, all right. So those are some accessories. You can look through your stash, or you can check it out later. But we're going to put buttons. We're going to do simple little button hole, and we're going to add some buttons. Now, you will need a bunch of little markers. Just some little small ones. I keep all these little O-rings, and I'll have to tell you where I get my little O-rings, but you can find them pretty much anywhere. Jewelry people make them but some of the jewelry people use O-rings. Can you see that on camera? Am I pointing? Okay, yeah, way up there. Okay, and then something to do your cable. Some people are good enough to do cables without a cable needle. I'm not. And you know, my old home remedy, I just use pins. Or you can use a plastic cable needle, or you can use a metal cable needle or hook, just like that. Or you can use these short bamboos like I just found, which I was real excited about. I can show you how to use those. So you're going to have something to work our cables on. And I think for as accessories and all the supplies, that is it. Lots of markers. Cover that, yarn, needle size. We're going to use a US number 10. But if you prefer a 9 or don't have a 10, you can use a 9 also. See? Jay's just a... You know, I'm not a worry type knitter. Look, this is like a no gauge. It's just a nice fun project. All right, let me clear everything up, and we will get to our pattern, and we can do some knitting. And I think you're gonna like this. Okay, so now let's talk pattern. And I and I can show you, you know, my thinking. All right, first of all, I started looking, once I got the idea about the steampunk, I started looking through, well, just different patterns, just all kinds. And then it came to me, the more I looked at it, and I'm just showing you some of my little finds that let's take a look at some of these first, maybe. These are just some of the little things I found at the Hobby Lobby or some of the other places that I was looking to try to see what I should be trying to make this, what kind of stitch I should be looking for. As you can see, it's all this little, and look at this one, isn't that a strange looking one? I don't know if you can see it on my hand. Maybe I should have had paper. But these are just some of the little trinkets, little things that I found separately, and then I had to put them together, of course, to make these little accents. And once I kept looking, then I thought, you know what? I think a cable would be exactly what I need. Not lace or anything like that, that's pretty, but something cable. And that brings me to one of my favorites, Rita Weiss. Now, maybe the next knit book review, stitch book that I will do, I think I'll do Rita Weiss, because she has this beautiful set by Leisure Art, and they're all different kind of stitches, from lace, and this is Aran stitch, and then she's got border stitches, and she's got just so many different kinds. But I have at least there's 6 in the series, unless there's one that I have missed, but or unless there's one brand new that I haven't seen yet. So I have all 6, and so I think I will do a stitch book review because I love these books so. But now this is the one that I picked out, because as I was looking through it, it was almost impossible to find something and not like them all. I mean, all the cables are just absolutely gorgeous if you do not have this book. And there's a lot that I could have used instead of the one I picked out. I mean, that makes you think of, you know, kind of odd, just kind of, that could be like a trinket, I guess. I don't know. Could be. I'm going to pull in just a little bit, just so you can see. See, so it could be, you know, I just kept looking at different ones. And then, too, I didn't want something so long for this simple design. And so, now, this is one that I really thought about doing. I thought, well, let's see, where's my, oops, I'm going the wrong way, sorry. In fact, I think I'll hold it up so you can see it. And this one is called Lace Cable Stripe. So, you know, that could look kind of steampunkish. There was just a lot to choose from. So, I settled, though, on, there's some more, on this one that Rita Weiss is in her, in this book on page 17. It's called Edged Cable. Edge Cable. So, it's a nice, simple cable. There's no top or bottom. You know, it's not directional, so I don't have to worry about that. There's really, there's 12 rows, but there's only 2 cable rows. Everything else is just knitting and purling and following your stitches. That's it. And, but it's very nicely written, very clean, beautiful picture. And as soon as I saw it, you know, and then I held up I grabbed up some of my little accents, and I just kind of laid them there. And, you know, to me, I thought that was pretty close. So, that's the stitch. Now, I was curious because, you know, as, like I said, when people do a stitch, just like I'm going to name the stitch, I named mine Steampunk Cable because that's what I'm going to do. And she had Edge Cable. So I was curious, was there an original name or a name that you might know it in another book? If you don't have this one and you think, that looks familiar. And I found it in several places. One place, and I tried to look at the pattern and compare them. Of course, everybody kind of adds or changes things as they need it. But it could be also could be honeycomb cable. Or the most common name I found after looking several places is just plain chain cable. So it's a very good basic cable, and they call it chain cable. So you may have this under another name. But like I said, for my purpose, it's going to become steampunk cable. So what do you think of that? So here's the book. Like I said, and I will have to do, or I really would like to do a book review on the books I have of this in this collection by Rita Weiss, put out by Leisure Art, and I'll do that, you know, sometime coming up. That is the pattern. You've seen my little charms. Now let's get ready to talk about our formula and look at the samples. Okay, so let's go real quick through the first 2 samples. Now, these are neck warmers, and what I decided to do is just to make one style neck warmer and give it in 2 different lengths, and depending on which side you put your buttonholes, it's for him or her. You know, if it's for him, his buttonholes will go on the left side. But since it's one size kind of fit all and just 2 different lengths, just turn it around and now the buttonholes are on the right side. And of course you'd have different, you know, you'd have maybe some different buttons for her or something. But, so let me turn it back since we're calling it for him right now. Alright, so now here's I think this is the silver gray Vanna. And as you can see, I put on my pretty new buttons that I found at Joann's that were steampunk. They're like a compass, north, south, east, and west buttons. They're plastic, but they're very nice buttons. I'm surprised. Okay, now let me open it up and lay it out. And now you can see, let me move this over a little bit. This is the short version that will stand up a little more around the neck. You know, it's a little tighter to the neck. And here is, let me see if I'm on camera good, if I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, as you can see the cable. Nice. We have a edge. We have some separation, as I normally do. And then on this one, of course, most cables, you're going to have reverse stockinette. So, for someone that's new, don't worry. I tell you, I had reverse stockinette used to give me the heebie-jeebies because my mind didn't want me to do it. So it means exactly what it says. If you're on the right side of the fabric or the project, you do the reverse stitch. So if I'm on the right side, instead of knitting, I will purl. When I get to the wrong side of the project, reverse stockinette, instead of purling, I will knit. And my mind my mind would fight me all the time. And I'd have to, I'd have to tink back just to, like, I messed up again. But now I've got it, you know, now I'm used to it. But it is something, you know, when you're new, you have to kind of fight your mind because your mind wants to do the right thing on the right side. But now, this will have, now on the pattern, and we're going to go with the formula and everything, but as you can see, there's this reverse stockinette which makes the cable pop out. Can you see it? If I did it on stock, you could do it on stockinette, but it doesn't pop out as much. It just kind of fades away. And then we have a nice center back because I didn't want to waste time doing cables on the back. Now, I admire people who cable up everything. They cable the sleeve, they cable the neck, they cable the front, they cable the back. Look, all I need is a taste of something. It comes from years of going to Weight Watchers, and you learn to just get a taste and walk away. So it falls over into my knitting too. Look, I got a taste of cabling, and then I'm just walking away. Look, I don't need a whole thing of cabling, but you can do that if you like. But now here's the center back, right there, and this is where you will add stitches to make the second or the longer version, which I'll show you in just a minute. Just here, everything else on each sample will be exactly the same on this neck warmer, except we will add stitches here if you'd like to make the longer version. So see, a long or a short for him or her. It depends on which side we're going to put the buttonholes. And then, of course, you just move it right along, and we have, of course, the matching on this side. I guess that's the right, yeah. You can see the reverse stockinette. The cable pops out really pretty. And a nice little garter stitch button band. And I've added my pretty buttons. And of course, now when you turn it, and you just button it up, it's a nice tight fit to the neck. Like I said, this is the shorter version. And it just depends on what color you put it in. Once we do it for mine, I'm going to do in real time the one in pink. So, and then of course, it'll be buttoned like this. See? Now, isn't that pretty? Just a really pretty. Now, all we're going to do is in the very center back, if you want the longer version, this version is exactly the same. And as I turn it, you can see now this is so much why we need the reverse stockinette. Now on this one, let's see, can I go which way? Let's see which one can you see the best. Okay, on this one, by the yarn having a little texture and all this little stuff going on, all this little black and little splotches of color, at first you may not see it, but eventually you see the cable pop out because we have the reverse stockinette. And then of course in the center is where you will decide the length. This is the long. I believe the short one has 27 stitches in here, and this long one has 33 stitches in this section, but we'll check it. Each neck warmer has at least 5 rows of 1x1 ribbing at the bottom when we start and at the top when we're in. You can increase this if you prefer. When we get ready to do it, I'll tell you little tips, like you can change yours if you like to have yours just a little different, which is fine. You're making this for yourself or for someone, and you can put your own touch or spin on it. We're just going to work the stitch. Isn't that pretty? I like it out of that. Now, as I turn it over, and like you say, then we have some, I've got these little leather-like buttons. And if you went over to check out the videos, I linked. Oh, yeah, I hope you, did you check them out? Did you check out Steam-Powered Giraffe? Hold me. You promise you. See, the music is just real sweet. I was just totally blown away. I expected like hard rock or metal or something. And it's just very sweet, really nice music. Hey, uplifting, you know. So it was a big surprise to me. Again, don't judge a book by the cover until you go look. So, but these are the 2 samples that we're going to start with. And then later on, I'll introduce you to the heart warmer vest. But I want to get this up and running and go over the formula and let's stitch so that we can go ahead and start this. And there is the back. Isn't that nice? Just real simple, but just something a little extra. Okay, I'll clear this up and let's get the formula, and we're going to do some stitching. or some knitting. I've been watching the floss tubers. Okay, let me show you the simple formula to make it quick and easy. You know, I work from one line as much as possible and the stitch from whatever stitch book I take my stitch from. And that's it. So, just a reminder, I will be using US number 10 on all the projects that I'm working on. Alright, and the cable by her pattern is a panel of 24 stitches. Her cable is a panel of 24 stitches. Now, she did did hers a little different, but I changed it in order, like you say, that's why I'm using stitch books. I changed it to make it simple, not only to share, but so that it will fit my little design and just make it easier, like I said, to share. So, for the 24 stitches of the cable, I'm simply going to do 4 stitches in reverse stockinette on one side of the cable. The cable is a 16 stitch cable. That means you'll have 8 stitches and then another 8 stitches. And then I will end it with 4 more stitches in reverse stockinette. So the cable will be in the formula 4, 16, and 4. So that is the complete cable panel. If you add that up, it equals 24 stitches. That is what her laced edge, her edged cable is, a panel of 24 stitches. Now, for my formula, okay, this is the short version. I decided, of course, I'm changing my borders now because I'm going to start adding a lot more buttonholes and different things as we start knitting more projects, you know. I just add things as we advance. But anyway, the border is going to be 6 stitches. So I have a border of 6 stitches. Then I'm going to have 5 just regular stockinette stitches. Knit on the front, purl on the back. This border is a garter stitch. That means you're going to knit every row. Every row I'm going to knit the first 6 stitches. First and last, really. Then I have a 5 stitch, knit on the front, purl on the back. Now, right here, in parentheses, are the 24 stitches for the complete cable panel. But I broke the panel up like this. 4 stitches in reverse stockinette. So on the front of the work, I will purl 4 stitches. Okay, then I will do the cabling. There will be 8 stitches for a front cable and 8 stitches for a back cable. That makes 16. Then to end this panel, I will have 4 more stitches to purl on the front to make reverse stockinette. Does that make sense for people that are still new? And once you see it, once we start, it's going to fall right into place. This is the center back. For this size, I have 27 stitches. Can you see that? And move my finger. Okay, 27 stitches. If you prefer the longer version, you will have 33 stitches, and you will cast on instead of. Just let me write that down on here so I don't have to rewrite it. So if I wanted the longer version, right here, I would change this to 33, and then I would have a cast on of 103 stitches. So for the shorter version, I have 27 stitches for the center back. This is where you make your increase. And then I have another cable, 24 stitches here in parentheses. Then my 5 stitch stockinette, knit on the front, purl on the back, 5 stitches, gives nice separation. And then I end with a 6 stitch border, knit every row, it's garter stitch. And if I add this whole row up the top, I come out to 97 stitches to cast on. if I want to make the slight change and work the longer version, I would do everything exactly the same, but I would have 33 stitches here. Follow it out, and then when I added the whole thing up, I would cast on 103 stitches. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm so excited, so let's get started. Let me walk you through to where I'm up to. On my sample, I put on my 97 stitches, and as we follow our formula that we've, come up with, let's see, here we go. Okay, the first 6 stitches by the formula, I knit on every row. I knit. Then I'm going to put a 1x1 ribbing all the way across until we get to the last 6 stitches, and I'll put a marker and I will knit those, and they become my 6 stitch border on each side. So here we go. Row 1, I always call a wrong side row. So after I knit my first 6 stitches, the first stitch I will do is purl 1, then knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and continue across the row. Okay, till I get to the opposite end, and I will end. If I started with a purl, then I should purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and end with a purl also. I just do it that way, and it always comes out right to the right row I need to be. I'm not confused, and I don't have to change up all the time. I knit the 6 stitches that represent the border, and I turn the work. But I turn the work, and I'm going to do the ribbing for at least 5 rows. Okay, I do my ribbing for at least 5 rows. The 5th row is on the wrong side. And this is when you could take a piece of yarn, a contrasting color, or a marker, and go ahead and mark. And it will just save you a lot of time as we continue up. You'll know immediately when you're on the wrong side or the right side. But anyway, I did my ribbing, my 1x1 ribbing, for 5 rows. If you would like to have yours, like I said, some people like their neck warmers or cows a lot taller so that you can, really kind of push it down. All right, just go up to 7 rows. You can just increase this part as much as you like. We will do the ribbing at the bottom, and we will finish with the same number of rows at the top when we finish. So I did 5 rows on this. Like I say, if you go up to 7. So that means after the 5th row is on the wrong side, row number 6 has me on the right side. And that's all I'm trying to just be uniform, just be consistent. So as I get ready, and I'm going to work by my formula, now we're starting the first row of the pattern. We start over now. And we're on row 1 of this stitch pattern. And I'm calling it the Steampunk Cable pattern. And we're also going to put in our first buttonhole and all the markers as we go around. So the first thing I want to do after I finish my 1x1 ribbing for however many rows you want, I did 5. Here we go. Okay, the first thing I want to do is put in a buttonhole right here. And I'm going to do a simple little buttonhole because I don't want to, they grow. And so I'm just going to make it real simple because this is just a nice little neck warmer. And this is the way I'm going to do it. Alright, on the band here, I'm going to knit the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. I am on the right side, and I'm starting row 1 of the pattern, but I'm going to go ahead and put in my first buttonhole right here. I knit the first 3 stitches. I yarn over twice, because we're just simply going to make a yarn over. Now I knit the next 2 stitches together. Just knit them together and knit the last stitch. And that when we come back, it will, when we close off this yarn over, it will simply put the buttonhole right in the middle. Now, according to our formula, I slide my marker, and the next 5 stitches I simply knit. They're just considered regular knit stitches. So I'm on the front side, so I'm going to knit those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Be sure to double count. Now put a marker. According to our formula, the next 4 stitches are part of the 24 that represent the cable panel. So yarn in front. This is reverse stockinette, so you simply reverse the stitch on the side that you're on. I'm on the front, so I'm going to purl 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, yarn in back, place a marker. The next 16 stitches will be where we will eventually put the cables. So I'm going to just knit across 16 stitches because I'm on the right side, the front side. So I simply knit across. I'm going to pull some yarn up, and then I'll stop and take a count. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, and 16. And it's good to count twice. 14, 16. Okay. Now, place a marker on each side of the cable. Remember, we have these reverse stockinettes. So I need to bring my yarn to the front. And the next 4 stitches on the right side, I will purl. So I purl 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 purled on the front side, yarn in back. Now this time, now I'm ready to just go in the center back and just knit some stitches. I didn't want to put the cable all the way through, so I'm just filling it up with some knit stitches. So I'm going to place a really different color marker right here so that I will know, okay, I'm done with that part. Now I'm just simply going to knit across 20, and by our formula it's 27 stitches. So unless you're doing the longer version, and I think it's 33 stitches, I'm doing the shorter version on this one. So I'm just knitting across our first row. We made a buttonhole, we're setting in markers, and this is the actual first row where we have worked the pattern also. So I'm just going across. And then I'll take a count. I'm trying to get across 27 stitches. Let's see, before I have to, oops. Oh, I dropped one. Jay dropped a stitch. Okay, this is good. Okay, if you drop a stitch. Alright, it's a purl stitch, so it's a lot easier to see for beginners if you would turn it so that you can pick it up on a knit side. See, because the knit stitches are a lot easier to kind of see what you're doing. So I just take a crochet hook, just get it up on any needle, on any side right now, just to make sure I save it. Turn it around Turn it back. Now let's see if I'm in the right place. Yep, I'm in the right place. I'm going to stop and take a count now. 27 stitches is what I'm going for. So, I know it's the front side because there's my yarn over here. Alright, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. One more makes 27. Now, I'm going to put the same marker that I had here on this side just to let me know these stitches are just the center back and they're just knit like regular stitches. Now, as soon as I do that, now I know that, alright, before the cable, I need to bring the yarn forward and I need to do 4 reverse stockinette stitches right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, yarn in back, place a marker. The next stitches are my 16 stitches, which I will just simply knit, because eventually I will work the cable in these 16 stitches. So now I'm just working that. Here we go. Now let me take a count. I don't think I have enough, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Place a marker, yarn in front on each side of the cable. Remember, we have those 4 stitches, reverse stockinette. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, yarn in back, place a marker. Now we have 5 just regular stitches. They're just there for separation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just knit them as normal knitting. Knit on the front, purl on the back. So I just knit 2, 3, 4, and 5. And, of course, slide the marker, and these last 6 represent a border, and you knit them on every row to make a garter stitch border. And so I just simply knit. And we have completed row 1 of the pattern. And we have set in our markers, as I slide it back. We have set in our markers, and we've added our first buttonhole right there. Now, we will start row 2, and we will simply follow our pattern as we do. Hold on, and I'm going to just turn the work but I want to do it on camera. Let me get us some yarn and we will do the back side. Okay, now, row 2, and all wrong side rows, we're just going to read our pattern and just follow through and work our stitches as we come to them. Alright, starting out on row 2, the wrong side, the first 6 stitches, of course, on every row, I'm simply going to knit. So here we go. I knit 5 and 6. Now I'm going to read my pattern. Okay, this is regular. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're just normal stitches. So yarn in front, slide my marker, and I am on the wrong side because it is marked. And like I said, this is row 2, wrong side. So I'm going to purl these 5 stitches. These just regular knit stitches. Okay, now I look ahead and I see that I have those 1, 2, 3, 4 reverse stockinette. Since I'm on the wrong side and I have it marked, then I know that I'm going to do just the opposite. So yarn in back, slide the marker. Now I'm going to knit these 4 stitches on the wrong side. So I knit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now back to regular knitting. Yarn in front, slide the marker. There are my 16 stitches right there. So I follow. Just follow reading the stitches. So I'm going to purl all the way across to the next marker. Now I'm coming up to the next marker, and I'm going to simply read the stitches to see where I am. And I see that since this is the 16 stitches for the cable, I know the next 4 are reverse stockinette. So I need to put the yarn in the back so that I can knit on the wrong side. So here we go. Slide the marker. I knit those 4 stitches. Okay. Now, by this little color, an odd color that I put in on purpose, I know that I am to bring the yarn in front, slide the marker. These are just the back neck filler stitches, and I'm just gonna regular stitching where I knit on the front and purl on the back. So I'm on the back, so I'll just purl across just as if, you know, I'm just knitting normal. Just go across my, if you're doing the longer version, you had 33. I think I have 27 stitches. Okay. Let's see, a few more. Slide a little more yarn. Trying to get to that marker there. Okay, I'm coming up to this marker. I look ahead to see that it's the next 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches are reversed. So I need to put the yarn in back, slide the marker. On the wrong side, I'm going to knit these 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now see I have those 16, so yarn in front. And I will just treat them as regular knit stitches. So I'm going to purl all 16 stitches on this wrong side. A little more yarn. Okay, let's see, can I pull up a little more? I'm coming up to the next marker, so I'll take a look and I'll see that, okay, 1, 2, it's just going up a little bit. I just finished the 16 stitches, so I know that it's going to be reverse, so I'm going to knit these 4 stitches on the wrong side. So I simply knit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those 5 filler stitches right there. Yarn in front, purl 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm up to the last yarn in back. I'm up to the last 6 stitches that represent my 6 stitch border and my first buttonhole. So I'm going to knit 2 stitches, 1, 2. Now I'm simply going to knit these 2 yarn over stitches together, these 2 loops, It's a little hard to kind of get the second one on here. You stick your needle up under the first one. You see that? Now you've got to kind of manipulate. I kind of do it with my fingernail if I can. Get your needle up under the next loop. There's both loops on the hook, on the needle. Now just knit those two together to close off that yarn over. Now knit the last 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And when we turn the work, okay, whoops, when we turn the work, you can see our finish buttonhole, our first one, right there, and it's closed off. It's right in the center, and then all our markers are in, and everything on our, according to our formula, has been put in place and marked. Now, that was the wrong side, row 2. Now, rows 1, let me just call it out. As you notice, I'm adding the information on the screen too, so that you can follow it. So rows 1, 3, 7, and 9, you will just work as row 1, just like it's going to be marked. Alright, and row 2, and of course all wrong side rows, you're just going to follow your pattern, just like we just finished. The first cable is on row 5. So I'm going to work up to row 5, and we will be ready to put in our first cable row, row 5. And I will see you back. Take care, and now we're on our way. Okay, so I've worked up to row 5. Row 5 is our cable row, and of course we're going to work our stitches over to that part. So let's go ahead and do that first before I read it and explain it. So at the beginning of row 5, we have to take care of all the things we've added, you know, all our little formula stitches. So we have, of course, our 6 stitch border. So I'll just knit that right quick. Guess I could have been ready. But I wanted to make sure you know that you're not lost anywhere. Alright, then slide the marker, and then I have those 5 just separating stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm on the right side. So now on our cable, it's 24 stitches, this whole set of the 4 reverse stockinette. So I put my yarn in front, slide the marker. Now I'm going to purl the 4 stitches right before the cable and right after. So 1, 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Okay, now I'm up to the actual 16 stitches right here, where I'm going to do the cable, and then I will read it. Yarn in back, slide the marker. Now let's read what it says. For the cable, it says cable 8 back. Cable 8 back. Remember, we have 16 stitches. Then you will cable 8 front. You will start with a cable 8 back, and then the next 8 will cable 8 front. So this is how you break it down. Normally it's just a simple division, unless the pattern gives you another cable that you know, they tell you exactly how many to put on the front and how many to put on the back. This says cable row 5, cable 8 back. So I'm going to take, you can take a double pointed needle like this and put them on. 1, 2, you're going to just split it in half. Instead of 8, it automatically, you take 4 stitches and put it on the cable needle, or there's the 4 stitches, and you hold them in back. Now I'm going to knit the next 4 stitches on my left hand needle. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now if you use a cable needle, you can simply slide the stitches to this tip and just simply knit off those 4 stitches we are holding on the cable needle or this double pointed needle. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's why I like these little short ones, because they're easy to work with instead of the little plastic with all the things. I normally use my little pen, but I'll use this needle today just for those that maybe didn't like the pen. Okay, so I put 4 stitches in the back and I knit 4 off the needle. Now the next 8, see there's 8 left, 2, 4, 6, 8. It says cable 8 front. So I take my cable needle again and I take off 4 stitches. Now I'm going to hold it down, I kind of hold it down in front of the work. That's what it means. Now I'm simply going to knit the next 4 stitches in the order. Just knit those off this left hand needle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I can just slide the stitches to this end and just stay in pattern. Now I knit the 4 stitches off this needle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is row 5. And we're not finished because we have to include these 4 reverse stockinette stitches as part of the cable panel. So I put my yarn in front, slide the marker. Now I will purl these 4 stitches just like that. And voila! I see now that this is just the center back because I put a separate color, a different color marker. All of these stitches are just to be knit. So I put my yarn in back, slide the marker, and I just do my regular knitting. I just go across. Okay, just to make sure that, you know, people who are getting into it, and, you know, if you're advanced, you're just going to, like I say, I went ahead and printed the whole thing up so you can just work right on. But if you're new, you're going to turn the work, and now we're on the wrong side because we have it marked, remember? And now you're just going to really read your stitches. So, of course, these first 6, Lord, if my foot didn't fall asleep, I feel like my foot is going to sleep. Oh gosh, okay, let's see, can I get through real quick? Alright, so then I can read yarn in front, I can purl the next group of stitches. You're just reading the group now, between the markers. Alright, the next group, I can see I'll knit those 4 stitches. So yarn in back, slide the marker. See how easy it gets once you get a little bit on your, get a little bit worked, you can actually see it. Okay, now yarn in front, because I simply purl all the cable stitches. They're all bunched up. But remember, there's 2 sets of 8s or 16 total in the cable section right here. So just make sure you don't drop anything. That's the only reason I bring it up. So I'm just going to purl carefully. Especially if you're new, just You don't want to drop any of your cable stitches. So I'm just purling across because I'm on the back side. And here I come. Making sure that I pick up every one and don't come up short. Okay, purling across. There we go. And I'm up to the last one. Of course, you can always take a count and everything. Then I look at the next group and I see that I will be knitting. So yarn in back. See, now you're just learning how to read your stitches. So I will knit those 4 stitches. Just stay in pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now yarn in front. And I know now that I'm at the center. Slide the marker. And this represents the back. And you will work all the way across. And this is row 6. This is the wrong side. So, row 7. Okay. After row 6, row 7, you will repeat it as row 1, just the right side. Row 8 is the wrong side. Row 9, see? Row 9 is back to row 1 again. Row 10 is the wrong side, and the next cable row is row 11. Does that make sense? And it's on the screen. And I will see you back as I work along just like you in real time at the next cable row, which is row 11. So, this is row 6, and we will continue and meet again at row 11. Have fun! Oh, let's see it, the beginning of our cable. Is that pretty? Oh, I like this color too, don't you? Okay. Be careful and take your time. Just don't lose any stitches when you get ready to purl your cable stitches. Back in a minute. Okay, so now I've worked my way up to row 11, the next cable row. Get myself some yarn. So far, this is what I have. How about you? Isn't that pretty? Is it popping out? Okay. Well, row 11, like I say, is our next cable row, but we're not ready to add another buttonhole yet. We're going to do a button. We have the first buttonhole, and then we're going to put one about the center of the neck warmer, and then again when we get ready to do our ribbon at the top. So I'm just doing 3, but we're not quite there yet for another buttonhole. So we can just work right on over to our cable area. We don't have to think about the buttonhole yet. So, of course, we're working our formula, and all the first stitches. Now you can really see, now you can almost work it by heart. Even a new person, because you can see how the stitches line up in each section. Okay, now I've knit across and did my 5 stitches. Now I'm up to, remember those 4 stitches I need for reverse stockinette. So yarn in front and slide my marker. Now I'm going to purl 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to get over to the cable stitches. Alright, here I am at the cable stitches, so my yarn needs to be in the back. Slide my marker. Now let's read row 11. To make the cable on row 11, it says cable 8 forward or front, cable 8 front, and then cable 8 back. So it switched on row 11 from row 5. So that's really what happened. So now we're going to cable 4, oops. So I'm going to take my, or you're going to take your cable needle, or whatever you're using, and take 4 stitches off and hold it in the front. Ooh, I got a snag there. Okay, hold it in the front. Alright. Now I will knit the next 4 stitches off the left hand needle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I can just simply slide the stitches on the cable needle and knit those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now the next is cable 8 back. So I turn right around. Now I'm going to take 4 off because there's 8 stitches left. So I'm going to take 4 of those 8 and I'm going to hold them in the back of the work. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just let them rest right there. And now I will knit the next 4 on my left hand needle. So it's 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that thing don't want to stay in the back, does it? And 4. Now I can simply push the stitches to this end and reach back with my right hand needle and knit those 4. 1. It's a little tight, but that's okay. 2, 3, and 4. Well, okay. And I'm not done until I put my yarn in front, slide the marker, and purl the next 4 stitches to make up the cable panel. And there she goes. Alright, now I can see that this is the back, the center back. So yarn in back, slide the marker, and knit across to do the cable on the opposite side. So what do you think of that? Let me do a few stitches and then we'll stop and take a look. Now how easy is that? Can you see your cable? Is it coming through? This was a nice cable, like I said, it's not directional, so it doesn't matter whether it's up or down or turn right, you know, different directions. It's just a nice kind of center cable. So, alright, so now we have to go to the opposite side. You'll have to go over here and finish this cable and then do row 12, which is the wrong side. You would do row 12, which is the wrong side, and then I'll come back after row 12 and then we'll just talk about as we get ready to start the pattern, the cable stitch all over again at row 1. So continue to work, put your cable on the left side, and I will see you back as you finish up row 12, getting ready to start row 1 again. Take care and have some fun. You're cabling. So I just finished row 12, was wrong side, and that gave me time to go back and check my notes. I thought something was a little off. I couldn't remember where I put the second buttonhole, but now I went back, thank goodness. This is why you make little notes on your black and white. So we started with our buttonhole on row 1. So now we have completed rows 1 through 12 one time. And now we're about to start rows 1 through 12 again. So we're going to put our buttonhole on row 1 again. I don't know what I was thinking. I just kind of lost concentration. I was trying to watch. I was trying to watch a movie in between running back and forth over here to the camera. So I've just finished row 12, which was the wrong side. And now we're going to add our second buttonhole. we made our first buttonhole on row 1. Right after we finished the ribbing, row 1, we made a buttonhole. We've worked 1 through 12 complete. Now we're starting again. And to make our buttonhole, remember, we are simply going to knit 3. 1, 2, knit 3 stitches. Then yarn over twice. Now, knit the next 2 stitches together. And you will have 1 stitch left before the marker. Knit that stitch. There we go. Now, we're just going to knit as usual, following row 1, which is really just knit as you see each section. So, I'll just do a little bit. So here's my 5 stitches and I knit those. It was mainly to come back and make sure you got the buttonhole in on row 1. And I see the next 4 stitches are the reverse stockinette. So yarn in front, purl those 4 stitches, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now yarn in back. Of course, we're on row 1, so we just knit. We will knit all of these stitches here. These are the cable that made up the cable. So we just knit. And just working our way across. We've put in our second buttonhole and we're working across. I just finished the 16 stitches in the cable area, and then of course yarn in front because I have 4 reverse stockinette. So I purl 1, whoops, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, yarn in back. Now I'm ready for my center back, just knitting across, and I will continue in pattern to go across to the other side. I will see you back at the end of row 2 to make sure we take, and now we simply need to start going to take our project to our 1 by 1 ribbing at the neck. And I'm going to show you this little tip that's going to help. Let me just lay it out before we get started. Now you see that how nice our cable looks and everything. It's real pretty. But once we start to do the ribbing across here, since we have what do you say, kind of cross these stitches over, they change places. They kind of formed a little flare out like this. Most ribbon will, most cables will at the top, or when you get ready to stop them. Then you're going to have this like flare out. And so I'm going to show you how I fix that just a little bit so it's not so obvious and doesn't look so bad. So that it looks more like where we started at the bottom. See how it was nice and smooth on the bottom. So as we get ready to do our 1 by 1 ribbing, I have knit the first stitches as I come across, and we can also, we won't drop this marker, but we can start dropping off markers. I'm on the front row, front side, so I simply start. Okay, we finished row 1 and 2. Now the cable pattern is done. I'm going to go back to my 1 by 1 ribbing. So I simply knit 1, yarn in front, purl 1, knit, purl, knit, yarn in front, purl. Now I can start dropping off these markers. Now I'm getting ready to purl. Now this is what I like to do to kind of take some stitches out of that flare of all these cable stitches. I'm going to, if you would do it in a purl section or on purl stitches, as I come across, I've knit, purl, knit. Now I'm ready to purl again. I'm just going to purl 2 stitches together right here. Just purl them, so that means I've decreased by 1 stitch. Then go back in pattern. Then knit 1. Purl. Drop the marker. Knit. Purl. Let's just see. Knit. Purl. Knit. Knit. Purl. Purl. And knit. Pull some yarn up. If you lose your place, just go back a little bit. Knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. Purl. Knit. Purl. Knit. And purl. Okay, and knit. Check it. Knit, purl, and I'm ready to knit. I take this off, so I go ahead and knit the next stitch. Try to do it. It works better if you do it on purl stitches. I knit that 1 stitch, yarn in front. Now I'm just going to go ahead and purl 2 together. I've gotten rid of, this will delete, take away another stitch. So I've done 2. That's a purl, so yarn in back, knit, continue on. You can get rid of markers as you go. That's a knit, so I want to purl. Now let's see, can I get across to the other side real quick while I'm talking. And I don't know if I said it, but okay, so I'm working right across, taking off my markers. In fact, I've taken off some before, but that's okay. So, but I'm working on 1 by 1 ribbing. So let me, if you lose your place, just go back a few stitches. Knit, purl, knit, purl. Let's see. Knit, purl, knit. Now I'm ready to purl again. Knit, purl. Now knit. And I'm going to purl and knit. Let's go. Knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. Now I'm going to knit a stitch. And then right here in this section again where there's some purl stitches, I'm just simply going to purl 2 together. Now I've decreased by another stitch. Yarn in back, get back in pattern. Now I'm going to knit, purl. Knit and purl. Coming up to the, let's see, knit, purl, knit. Okay, I'm ready to purl again. And now we're going to knit and purl. Alright, knit, purl, knit, purl. Okay, knit, more yarn in front. I'm going to purl 2 together. Now that's another stitch I've taken out. Yarn in back. Yarn in back. So now I will knit, purl. Drop that, knit, purl, knit, purl, and since we started with the knit and on the right side, we should end with a knit also, unless you, like me, got off there for a second. You got interrupted. I had to stop the camera and run and take care of something. Something was on in the stove, so I had to. And sometimes you'll get your count off, but it'll come out, should come out just fine. Slide this mark because we're going to keep it for the border, and there should be 6 stitches. Of course, we just knit every stitch. Okie dokie. So now we turn the work, and now we're just working our way for at least 5 rows. And since we're starting on a front side row, you may have to go an extra row to get back to the front to actually do the bind off. And the bind off you will simply do in pattern. In the you'll bind these off as usual, and then you'll bind off in knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. And you should see a nice decrease since we took stitches out. You shouldn't have as bad a flare as if, if we hadn't have taken them out, it would have really flared out right in here and looked kind of wavily. So hopefully that's a good tip. Hopefully that will give you some relief and some help the next time you find yourself doing a cable. So I'll see you back when this is all done now. Of course you have all the pictures, but now this is the one I made for myself. Let's just take a real quick look before we move on. And I switched the buttons. I was going to use these silver ones, but I got something else I found that I like the silver ones better. So I used the new buttons that has more of the gears. The steampunk is about gears and all that kind of stuff. Of course, these are just plastic, but, those are the ones I found at Joann's. So now this is, now you might wonder, well, why you got the buttons going crooked? I'll show you in a minute why it looks better. Because I probably won't wear it this closed up. This is really snug around the neck if I button it up like this. But that's the whole, and then of course the back. Why waste a good cable on the back? Okay, real quick. So, but as you can see in the pictures, it's meant not only for a neck warmer, but more like a collar. So when you pull it down like this, and it comes across, and then when you button that first button, you get this beautiful, there's your steampunk cable. Here's your beautiful bottom edging. Make sure I'm on camera. Oh yeah. Isn't that pretty? And wait a minute. Jay. Bingo! That's that, some of the little steampunk jewelry. Remember the I-cord? Remember I just did the I-cord accent, showing you how to put the beads on. And then I found this beautiful, they got all kind of just jewelry. There's some kind of bee or something. I hope that's showing up. It's hard to see. But anyway, so I just stuck it on another black I-cord along with some beads that I thought looked great. And look at that. Of course, it looks better on the pictures on the form. Isn't that nice? So one is done. Okay, now let's talk. All right, I wanted to do something because several have asked, say, Jay, I want to do something for my husband or whatever. So I did the neck warmers just for the younger, somebody younger, somebody you want to do something real quick for. This is for a little more, just someone a little older that might enjoy this. And of course, I take the same pattern, see what else I can do with it, and try to make it as simple as possible. Here are my steampunk cables right here. And look at that. And this yarn, remember when I, when I left, took the yarn away. But it was Lion Brand Tweed Stripe. It was first part of the video, Lion's Brand Tweed Stripe, and the color was caramel. And it's just any kind of, it's a bucket weight, and I used a size 10 on all the projects. Remember, I hadn't changed anything yet, nothing. And any stripe, if you got some stripes, if it's, like I say, that will look good, whatever color you prefer. But something of bulky weight, or at least you can use a size 10 on. Alright, now, the whole point of this is, what if I took the steampunk, like a scarf, or a neck warmer, which is kind of like down here on the bottom, See, that's kind of like a neck warmer, not as, but what if, that's what I was asking myself to come up with something, you know. What if I just kept going, but I don't want to waste all that work in the back. I started with a ribbing, 1x1 ribbing. I did the steampunk cables, just like on the neck warmer. And then I went back after I did 1, 2, 3, 4 cables. Then I simply went back into the ribbon because we didn't change any stitches. Everything is just the same. And I just 1x1 ribbed all the way across to the length that I needed to get to the other side to go back into the steam, starting with row 1 again with the steampunk cable, work down and in with a rib, 1x1 rib. Now how simple is that? See, that's all I did. So now I'm going to walk you through this, and I'll remind you of the things that that I did have to change in order to get this one just to fit better and make it simpler. You know, once I did this one, I saw some things I needed to change to make it even easier and simpler than when I did this first one. And so that's what I'm going to share with you next. The formula, and we're going to cast on and start working. I'm not going to repeat all the pattern, but I'm going to work some, show you a little bit, work some. Okay, now on one side I'm going to have 11 just regular stockinette stitches, knit on the front, purl on the back. Here in this block I have the cable stitches, okay, broken down. On this side I had to add one more stitch, so I have 12 stitches on this side. And of course, just like I said, I finished with a 6-stitch border, which I will knit on every row. And if you add this up, it's 59 stitches to cast on. Now, you will cast on and be ready to work the 1x1 rib. And every time you come to row 1, you will make the buttonhole. After you do the 4 cables, the steampunk cables, then, okay, you're working all the way up. When you end row 12, you need to work row 1 and row 2 again. Every time you come to the top, or you need to stop it, you need to work row 1 and row 2. Okay? But now, once, so you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 buttonholes. The last one, you don't need a buttonhole unless you just want a 5th one. I only had 4 buttons, so I stopped. But after you get your 4 buttonholes, but you will still have to work row 1 and 2 to end off the cable. Then you simply go back into the 1x1 rib. Your stitch count should be the same. You're on the front, you knit the 6 stitches for the border, then you start with a knit 1 because we're on the front. Knit 1, purl, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and all the way across. And this is where you will this is the good television watching. This is where you will form the length. This is where you're going to have a t-shirt on a hanger hanging up. And as you knit this, you can simply put it around the neck of the hanger, the t-shirt, and you can see how long you want to make this part of this vest, and to go all the way around. And then of course, when you want to stop, you're going to do row 1, of course, and row 2, and then you're going to repeat the 4 cables, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And at the end, you have to repeat row 1 and row 2 again. You have to seal it off, and then you will end with a 1x1 rib, just like you started. It's just that simple. It's just a long scarf with cabling on each end. Isn't that pretty? I like this yarn, don't you? That was that line brand. You know, I found it. You never know what you have until you look. So, I can't think of anything else that we haven't covered. Everything, we've worked it out. I gave you the formula. You're working from your formula and just staying in pattern. And I think it's going to really look really pretty. Now, of course, I know men are not into jewelry. This is just for the pictures and just to make it look good. You know, Jay. But I think it would be really pretty. So, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you give it a try. I wanted to do something special. And when I saw the steampunk... Oh, and don't forget to go over and check out Steam Powered Giraffe. And tell me what you think. But it's a very unique look. And I just thought it would be a lot of fun to do. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed just doing it, coming up with it. And, of course, let me know what you think. Well, I think I've covered everything until, till we meet again. Look, Jay's got to get busy. The end of the year's here, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to end the year. So, until we meet again, this is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. See ya!